Hi everyone. It's the end of our spring parliamentary session, and Justin Trudeau has continued to make life more difficult for Canadians this year and for the last 9 years. You know, these Liberals are driving up the costs on everything with their inflationary taxes. You know, they continue to jack up interest rates. And of course, we've seen in this last budget $60 billion in new inflationary spending, which has created this year alone a $40 billion deficit. Now, a record number of Canadians, including our own troops, are lining up outside of food banks in record numbers. And they're doing this because the cost of heating and gas has become unaffordable, and they have to choose between eating, heating, and putting gas in their car. You know, Canadians' standard of living have been in sharp decline under Justin Trudeau, and now he's made it almost impossible for businesses and Canadians to have powerful paychecks. Common sense Conservatives have been fighting hard here in Parliament. We've been holding this Liberal NDP coalition government to account, and we're going to bring in common sense when we finally have a common sense Conservative government elected under Pierre Poilievre. That is why we called on most committees, including my Committee of National Defence, to continue working throughout the summer so that we can put the interest of Canadians and our troops first. But the self-proclaimed worker bee NDP couldn't wait to take a 3-month vacation with Justin Trudeau and his Liberals and voted to make sure that Parliament does not meet through the summer. Well, this session, we as your Conservatives have worked very, very hard. We've worked to axe the tax. And by that, we have forced Justin Trudeau and his Environment Minister, Stephen Guilbeault, to reveal their secret report, which proves that the carbon tax is hurting Canadians. We forced a non-confident vote on the carbon tax so that we could call a carbon tax election. And we called on the government to give Canadians a summer tax break by axing the carbon tax, the federal food tax, and the GST on gasoline and diesel until Labor Day so that Canadians could have a great summer, taking their kids camping, driving across to visit family, or just spending time in Canada's great outdoors. We fought to pass Bill C-234 in its original form that would axe the tax for Canadian farmers. But again, the Liberals and the NDP ganged up to vote no. And we forced multiple confidence votes, calling on this government to spike their April 1st carbon tax hike. We've also been talking about building the homes. You know, we have this housing crisis right across Canada, and we need more homes to be able to have houses out there for Canadians to live their dream of owning their own house. So we forced a bill on Bill C-356, the Building Homes Not Bureaucracy Act, that was brought forward by Pierre Poilievre. And we wanted to make sure that we could build homes faster. But of course, it was getting defeated by the NDP-Liberal Costly Coalition. We forced investigation into Trudeau's housing hell on multiple committees, multiple times. We've been working to fix the budget. We opposed Justin Trudeau's agenda of economic vandalism at every opportunity with his wacko policies. We've done that by fighting back against the latest Liberals' tax on farmers, doctors, home builders, plumbers, chiropractors, and small business owners right across Canada, but especially in our riding of Selkirk Interlake Eastman. We passed Bill C-241 at third reading to allow tradespeople to deduct their travel expenses. We demanded that the Trudeau government repay taxpayers all the funds that they paid to ArriveCam contractors and contractors who did no work. We know that those contractors and subcontractors pocketed millions and millions of dollars, and we got absolutely nothing for it with their Arrive scam. And of course, we are working hard to stop the crime. We passed Bill C-320 at third reading to promote transparency and rights for victims of violent crime. We passed Bill C-321 at third reading to support and protect first responders and healthcare workers who face violence while serving our communities. We introduced Bill C-379 to seek tougher penalties for repeat car thieves, which has gone completely out of control across Canada. We've introduced Bill C-351 to keep serial killers in maximum security prisons. We introduced Bill C-376, which prohibits violent criminals from owning weapons, which Trudeau actually in his Bill C-50 allowed that to happen. And I tabled my Bill C-296, Respecting the Families of Murdered and Brutalized Persons Act, which would allow families to make sure that they have an opportunity to make representation at parole board hearings, and we give the tools to judges to hold these violent, sadistic killers in prison longer by putting them in jail for up to 40 years without parole. On top of that, Conservatives exposed the historic corruption that exists under Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh's Green Slush Fund, on the GriveCams app, and in government contracts with their friends like McKinsey and SNC-Lavalin. Friends, life wasn't so hard before Justin Trudeau, and it won't be this hard after he's gone. Only common sense Conservatives will continue to fight for Canadians by axing the tax, building the homes, fixing the budget, and stopping the crime.